On March 20, 2023, Redis, the beloved in-memory database that's powering a good chunk of applications on the internet, dropped a bombshell. The company announced it was changing its license, moving away from the open source BSD to a more restrictive model. For many in the open source community, it felt like a betrayal. 11 years ago, as a junior DevOps, I had the pleasure of running one of the largest clusters of in-memory Redis databases at the time. And the announcement hit hard. Does this mean everyone's going to start paying for the use? Redis had begun as a passion project in 2009, created by Salvatore Sanfilippo, an Italian developer known to the world as Antirez. His vision was simple: build a fast, lightweight database that anyone could use for free. Redis quickly became the cornerstone of the internet. It was adopted by startups and tech giants. It was incredibly simple and immensely fast, but beyond, it could be used for anything, from cache and storage, through queues, full text search, analytics and time series, and more and more. But as Redis grew, so did its ambitions. A young company at the time named Redis Labs, offering Redis as a service, had started backing the open source project. Soon thereafter, they even recruited Salvatore, bought the trademark, and changed their name to Redis Limited, blurring the line between open source and proprietary software. Then came the license change. Overnight, Redis was no longer fully open source. The community felt the change deeply. It wasn't just about code change, it was about trust. In an almost immediate response, a group of developers joined forces. They forked Redis, creating Valkey, a new project committed to staying open source, like its spiritual father when it started its way. Soon thereafter, tech giants like AWS, Oracle, and even Google stood behind the project, publicly backing it up, but AWS took it even a step further with an amazing offering for those who switch, and we'll uncover what it is and how to use it later on. And so, the story of Redis became a tale of two paths, one with proprietary ambitions and the other with the promise of freedom, but one that quickly translated to the real world with big tech names we can all trust. But can Valkey actually stand for its promise, and is it on par with Redis? Can you still use it with the same ease, and is it, the forbidden term that triggers so many of us, a drop-in replacement? Well, that's what we're about to find out today. This is my world-famous guestbook application. It speaks to a local Redis. This image is public, so you could actually run this exact compose file on your local machine and enjoy my wonderful app. Open your browser on port 3000 and sign the guestbook for everyone to see. Well, everyone who stands behind you, at least. The data is stored into Redis, a key value in-memory store that I use wherever I can. It's fast, light, easy to use, and extremely versatile. But we're not here to show off Redis. Well, we are, but not in the old form, but as Valkey. Same app, I leave the port and the container name. I'm not even remotely touching my code that thinks it's still Redis, but I'll switch it to the official Valkey image. Will it run? Docker Compose app, everything seems okay with the logs. Using the app itself, everything's on point, as if nothing has changed. So, if nothing changed, what is the difference under the hood? Let's compare the features, side by side. I'm taking a quick break for a story about today's sponsor. During COVID, I had nothing to do. I was bored to death until I stumbled across a CTF platform. Security CTF, Capture the Flag, is basically a game of security challenges where you need to crack open a server, a web app, or a remote service, or any other target. Not only you're learning a ton about security and hacking, but it's also an extremely enjoyable game. Join security expert John Hammond for Fetch the Flag, a 12-hour Capture the Flag challenge that'll test your skills, teach you new tricks, and there are some seriously amazing prizes up for grabs. This isn't just another CTF. You'll tackle real-world security scenarios, earn CPE credits, and compete with developers from around the globe. Plus, Snyk's developer-first platform means challenges that actually matter for your day-to-day work. Imagine spending 12 thrilling hours hunting for vulnerabilities, cracking codes, and racing against the clock. Whether you're a security newbie or a pro, you'll find challenges that'll keep you engaged and learning. I can tell you from personal experience, after diving into CTFs and later to bug bounty hunting, my professional life leveled up in a way I never expected. Ready to put your skills to the test? Register now at the URL on the screen. The event kicks off on February 27th, 9 AM Eastern. And trust me, you don't want to miss this. See you there. Redis versus Valkey, head to head. When it comes to licensing, we already know Valkey is the open source fork of the now commercial Redis. If you require support, Redis is there for you. And here's a newsflash, even Salvatore, the author who joined the company back then, left afterwards and came back just a couple months ago, so yeah, you'll get the support you need. But what about Valkey? Well, it's tricky to say you'll get Oracle's or Amazon support. They do back the project, contribute and advance things. AWS will even offer support if you use Valkey through Elasticache, and of course pay the monthly premium support, but we'll get to that later. Performance-wise, Redis is incredibly fast, but guess what? Valkey isn't a cheap fork. They made a lot of changes since the split, and now using their new I/O threading feature, they claim they can reach over 1 million requests per second. Want to consume it as a product provided by a platform? Redis is available both on redis.com and other major cloud platforms. And while there are some other differences, for now, these are the major ones, at least when you're considering your own options. You can try running a local benchmark using the Redis benchmarking tool, but the answers would be pretty much similar, with 76,000 requests with the local Redis, which I then switch to Valkey and get almost an identical number, even slightly lower here, so that's not a sign of anything. I think we can all agree that for a minimal container running on my local machine, that's an acceptable level. So what's the deal with AWS and Valkey? Beyond Amazon standing behind the project, they're also pushing it hard, and you can trust AWS that they're not doing it for charity. After announcing it on October 24, they told everyone that Valkey with serverless is priced 33% lower and node-based is priced 20% lower than other supported engines. As in, we'll sell you Valkey in any way, shape or form you like, and we'll give you every reason you need to ditch Redis. Why? Well, the license change forced AWS and other platforms to remove it as an offering from a paid service. So why would you ever go for Redis.com then? They sound like pure evil, right? Well, it's more complicated than that. You see, what they did is annoying, sure, but it's absolutely legal. I mean, AWS is sucking the life out of customers, paying huge percentage of their bill just for mid-tier support with SLAs that are not even worth it. The game is rigged. And Redis, beyond everything, is one great service. I've been using it for years, and while I'm considering a switch, the platform itself is just great. It's beautiful, easy to set up, easy to monitor and build infra around. It comes with great enterprise features, one of which is a huge connection pool, which for someone like me, who runs thousands of Lambda functions, becomes a deal breaker when trying to work with traditional cache options. Redis really is great. Will I use the open source option in my projects? Probably not. If I ever decide to turn them into a paid service, offer a premium tier, or anything that smells of profit, I can find myself in a pickle.
I turned myself into a pickle, Morty! Boom! Big reveal, I'm a pickle. What do you think about that? I turned myself into a pickle!
Personally, I've changed most of my projects to use Valkey and saw no issue whatsoever. Yes, the context is definitely small use cases and simple key value in-memory storage, but I'll make a wide guess that this is 80% of use cases. If you love hearing about open source projects as an alternative to license changes, you want to go ahead and check out this video next, where I adopt an open source alternative to Docker. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.